Hi everyone, it's David from Automotive Press. Guess what? I have the Toyota GR Corolla this week, but I'm going to talk more than just about the GR Corolla. I want to talk about the present and the future things that are happening with Gazoo Racing, period, because the next 2 to 3 years could be the most exciting time for Toyota's racing division, Gazoo Racing, or GR for short, because there are so many interesting cars coming out, including the possibility of things like GR Celica, new GR Supra, new GR 86, maybe even the MR2, on and on and on. There could be some really interesting cars, maybe even a GT3 in a few years' time. So let's talk about the GR Corolla, but let's go beyond this one and talk about the future of Gazoo Racing because it's super exciting. Let's go. Welcome back. So I'm going to talk about not just the present moment, which is about the GR Corolla that I have this week, but also about the future of Gazoo Racing because there are so many exciting cars that are coming out, and I'm going to make some hopefully accurate predictions about what Toyota plans to do with the GR name, including cars like the Celica, but could also include something like a GT3 at a $200,000-$300,000 range with a twin turbo V8. So those are things I will talk about a little bit later on, but right now let me concentrate on the GR Corolla because I'm going to give you 7 reasons why I'm excited about the Gazoo Racing, both present and future. And the first one is the fact that we even have GR Corolla to begin with. How did we even end up with this? Because we had a GR Yaris in Japan for a long time and we were hoping that will show up in North America. That never happened, but none of us predicted that Toyota will bring a GR version of the Corolla hatchback of all the cars they can pick. And the fact that they did that is the first reason why I'm excited, because it's a signal and a change within Toyota management in the sense that they really want to push racing or sportiness and performance in the forefront. And this really is a result of the mandate from Akio Toyoda, the former president and the current chairman. He loves racing to the point where he has a nickname, Morizo, to refer to him as a racer basically. And he's the one that really pushed the envelope and brought cars back, including the GR Corolla, but also he's responsible for bringing up the Crown names, something that we also thought will not show up in North America. But coming back to this one, this is the first year that they actually have an automatic transmission offered on a GR Corolla in addition to the manual transmission. That makes this a pretty unique vehicle because you have all the high performance spec of the GR Corolla, but you can actually drive it as an automatic car now. And in case you forgot, it does have the same engine as the GR Yaris, which is perhaps the most interesting and most exciting rally car in the world. And that means that it has 3-cylinder turbocharged engine with all-wheel drive, or they call it GT4 in Toyota's name. So it's kind of rally car. It is based on the Corolla hatchback, but there has been so much modification in terms of the powertrain, suspension, and exterior that really is not even the same car as a Corolla hatchback anymore. And also I was really fortunate enough to actually see the GR Corolla being built in Motomachi factory last year, so I actually watched the whole thing. I can't really show you the video from that due to many different reasons, but still I was able to watch this thing being hand built because it is built exclusively in the Gazoo Racing factory, which is separate from the normal Corolla factory. So that was super exciting and it really gave me a new appreciation for how well made this thing is. And I can just do a quick check here: 3.7 millimeter, 3.8, 3.7, and 3.6. So the gaps are actually very good, but maybe not outstanding in terms of comparing to, let's say, a Lexus model. But the actual quality of the panel fit and panel alignment, the paint job, and just how solid it is, you know what? It's not like a Corolla at all. Solidly built, high performance vehicle. It has a really good feel on the road because basically it's a sports car, but with a 5-door hatchback design, and therefore it occupies a kind of unique position. And the price is reasonable. It's about $60,000 Canadian. Where else can you buy a rally-inspired sports performance machine like this for that price with the Toyota's reliability as a background? So GR Corolla is exciting for 2025 because it's available in automatic, and who knows, there might be some other variations too based on GR Corolla, because in Japan there is a Lexus version of the GR Corolla called the LBX, and in fact they introduced LBX Morizo edition or Akio Toyoda's edition, and that one has the same engine and the powertrain as this one, including the automatic transmission. So I'm hoping that at some point Lexus will bring the LBX to North America with this engine, and basically you end up with a Lexus version of the GR Corolla, and that could be super exciting. I would definitely buy that. So those are some of the things that's exciting in terms of current space. What about the future model? Well, let me talk about 6 more reasons why I'm excited about the future. The second thing I wanted to point out is the fact that Gazoo Racing is beginning to have its own life within Toyota. I know we have TRD as well, but somehow TRD is only designated for the truck side, things like TRD Off-Road, TRD Sport, TRD Pro for Tacoma, 4Runner, and so forth. But it's not being used to denote high-performance sports machines. That really is now occupied by the Gazoo Racing nameplate. So anything to do with the high performance is GR branded, and that is what I'm excited about, because Toyota's going to continue to grow the Gazoo Racing division to the point where many cars within Toyota's lineup will offer GR variations of it. So we have now the GR Corolla, we still have the GR86, we still have the GR Supra, but there are going to be more, including GR Celica, which I'll talk about in a second. But we might even get GR versions of a normal cars. We heard rumors that there will be a GR version of one of the SUVs. So could that be a GR Crown Signia or GR RAV4, or maybe even GR version of Lexus models, because I understand that GR brand will also carry on to Lexus side. Now let me talk about the third reason why I'm so excited, because I want to get into some specific. And the third one is the fact that we know for sure now Celica nameplate is coming back. We call it Celica in Canadian side, but in the US it's Celica, in Japanese Celica. So whatever the name happens to be pronounced, I can say for sure that that name will come back. And because they already trademarked the name GR Celica, we know that Toyota will introduce GR Celica, and that's perhaps one of the most exciting things to ever happen, because we all love what Celica used to be and what Celica stood for, even more so than Supra, because Celica is everyone's affordable sports car, and also it could be a very much a rally inspired sports car, because we used to have the GT4 version of Celica. And what I heard from many different rumors from Japan and elsewhere is that the GR Celica will be offered in all-wheel drive or four-wheel drive version, and that it will likely have Toyota's newly introduced 2-liter turbocharged 4-cylinder engine that could produce as much as 400 horsepower or even more for the truck version. And that could really mean that Celica will be perhaps one of the most serious sports cars to come out of Japan in a very affordable package. So that for sure I think is happening. I predict 2026 or 2027, so we could see a prototype being introduced at the Japan Mobility Show this fall. So, and that could be a super exciting news. So that's the third point. So I love the whole idea behind Gazoo Racing, and if the Celica does come to North America, well, you know what, I'm going to buy one for sure. But the fourth thing to keep in mind is that GR Supra will likely stay on, not the current version, because this one is going away for sure. So the BMW-based Supra is going to go away, but the rumors from Japan say that the Supra will come back as an all-new Japan-born vehicle that could be a joint venture or joint product development between Mazda and Toyota. So the rumors we're hearing is that the new Supra may use 3.3-liter inline 6-cylinder engine from Mazda, because they're saying that Supra really needs to have an inline 6-cylinder engine to be authentic. But I don't think they want to carry on with partnership with BMW, so they have to find a different partnership or a new way to produce the GR Supra. And based on rumors, they're saying that this might happen together with Mazda. So Mazda could have their own version of the Supra, whatever it's going to be called. It could be called an RX-7 or RX-8. And then Toyota will get a Supra version of that joint venture, joint product. So that's kind of exciting. We don't know for sure if that's going to happen. That's pretty speculative for now, but the Best Car magazine from Japan is saying that all of the tips they received point to that possibility of a Mazda-Toyota relationship, and therefore GR Supra will come back, potentially with a Mazda counterpart. What else could be coming in Gazoo Racing division? Well, the fifth point I want to talk about is the GR86, which is actually a solid sports car, but it really isn't a Toyota model either. The GR86 is really a joint project with Subaru, and in case you didn't know, the GR86 is built at a Subaru factory, not Toyota factory, and for all intents and purposes, it's basically a Subaru BRZ in disguise with some Toyota parts and some Toyota design. But the two cars are almost identical, and it really is a Subaru product. But I'm hearing that there will be a new version of a GR86 likely to be produced in a few years, and it will be a Toyota exclusive version, not built in conjunction with Subaru anymore. But I do have a doubt about that because Toyota and Subaru obviously are very closely tied together. Toyota owns part of a Subaru as well, and I don't think Toyota will introduce a whole new GR86 in addition to Celica and do that on their own. So I still think they will be developed in conjunction with Subaru, but we'll have to wait and see. Really the good news is that GR86 will carry on and not removed as a result of maybe something like Celica arriving. It will stay in the lineup even with the Celica coming on board. So that's kind of exciting about the GR86. So now I'm on the road with GR Corolla. You can kind of hear the exhaust. It's a pretty exciting car for a very reasonable price. And that brings me to the sixth point, and that is MR2. Would MR2 also show up within the Toyota lineup as part of the Gazoo Racing vehicle? Well, that's a big question because Best Car Magazine in Japan is saying that MR2 and Celica might merge together and be produced under Celica name, but potentially even with a midship or mid-engine design. So it's a little bit hard to figure out whether Celica is a standalone car with all-wheel drive as an option, and MR2 also a separate car with a mid-engine design, or whether or not those two cars get merged together under one name. And that is the big question right now. I do think MR2 could be introduced as a separate model because it doesn't really make sense to put the two names together. Also, at the Tokyo Auto Salon just a couple months ago in Japan, they showed a GR Yaris with the all-wheel drive system, but also with a midship or mid-engine design with the engine just right behind the rear seat. And that was kind of the telltale sign that Toyota already have a mid-engine design in mind. And therefore, I think MR2 will be a separate model. I hope so, because I would love to have Supra, GR86, Celica, and MR2, and that would be like a full lineup, and it'd be the most exciting thing to ever happen to Toyota, because we've never had so many of the new models under Gazoo Racing with all these famous nameplates coming alive. So that could be exciting. So I think MR2 is still happening. We'll have to wait and see how that goes. That's the sixth point, but I kept the most exciting news to the last point, which is the seventh thing to be excited about for Gazoo Racing, and that is the GT3 high performance ultra exotic sports car. It could be priced over $200,000, maybe even hitting $300,000, like the Lexus LFA, but under Toyota's Gazoo Racing name. So it could be called GR GT3. We are already seeing a whole bunch of prototype being driven around in racetracks. It's also being caught in a number of different places outside the racetrack, in under disguise, of course. And they've showed a prototype of this a few years ago in Auto Salon, and all the rumors point to the fact that GT3 will in fact show up with a twin-turbo V8 engine sometime in 2027 or 2028. So if that happens, it'll be the biggest news for Toyota, since Toyota never had something like this in this price range, because really only Lexus had it under the LFA name but not under Toyota name. There should be a Lexus version of this GT3 as well, and that could be called LFA or LFR or LFA2, who knows what the name will be. So we could potentially have two high performance exotic sports cars in a couple of years, one from Lexus, one from Toyota, and for Toyota it could simply be called GR GT3. And if that happens, well, I don't know that I can afford to buy that, but it will be the biggest news to hit the Toyota lineup. So those are 7 reasons why I'm super excited about Gazoo Racing, both in terms of present moment, but also looking in the future, because just in 2 to 3 years time, we might see all of these cars be introduced, and many of them could be previewed at this fall's Tokyo Motor Show, which is now called Japan Mobility Show, and I'll be there with my good friend Kirk Kreifels. So lots of news ahead, and you gotta stay tuned for that, because leading up to Tokyo Motor Show or Japan Mobility Show, there could be even more leaks and previews from places like Best Car Magazine. So I think there'll be more previews, and especially if some of these cars are coming out in 2026 or 2027, that's only a year and a half away, and we could be seeing some really cool leak photos very soon. So look forward to that, and I'll keep you up to date on all the Gazoo Racing, because I think it's now a core part of Toyota's future. I hope you enjoyed my video. If you did, give me a thumbs up, make some comments, and if you haven't done so yet, would you kindly subscribe as well. Until next video, I'm signing off for now. Thank you so much.